Are you live? Oh, you can? Okay. Next time.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. The honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And we know we out here once again. As you can see, the weather is getting warmer, so it's getting nice out here. And we out here, but once again, whether winter, as Paul said, be instant in season, out of season. All right, but now we can see, which pretty much everybody that has eyes to see can see now, and even the average folk can see that the world is going in a direction, all right, that's leading to biblical prophecy. They're talking about it on Fox News, and now people are starting to use those terms biblical, because they're starting to see that, the things happening now, there's only one place where they've been written, and that's in the Bible. The famines, my mom went to buy a lamb this morning, and she said just for the leg, the joint was $72. $72. So now, when you read Revelation the 6th chapter, and it talks about a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, knowing the understanding going into inflation, you can understand how you can spend almost half, to a little over your paycheck on just groceries. So say she bought lamb and she wanted to buy other things, milk, and then and other things like that. You're spending well over $100, damn near over $200 on just a few items. And then in addition, she said, look, when she went there, it wasn't like at first, because she used to go there. It's like the butcher area, right? It wasn't like at first where you would go and everything would just be there. No. She said that joint was empty. She had to ask herself, did people already come and buy it, or are they just out of stock? So well did the Lord say that there were going to be famines and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. They just had an earthquake off the coast of Japan last week. So all these things are happening. How do you know that these things are prophetic? Well, you got to measure the time diligently. All right. So let's start with the book of Revelation, 22 and 12.
Revelations 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be.
Right. So the Lord said, behold, I come quickly, right? And my reward is with me. So Yahushai, we know he went back to the spirit world after fulfilling his mission here on the earth. He went back to the spirit world over 2,000 years ago, right? And he said, I come back quickly. Now, what did the angels tell Yahushai concerning his return? Acts 1 and 10. All right, because how is the Lord coming? Also, Revelation 1 and 7 tells us that, behold, he cometh with the clouds. So the Lord said, behold, I come quickly, meaning that the return of the Messiah is imminent. Right? Read that.
Continuing. 22 and 13. I am Alpha.
Now, read 12 again.
12 again. Okay. Revelations 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me.
And my reward is with me. Go ahead.
To give every man according as his work shall be.
So that's the key right there. To give every man according as his work shall be. So that means that you got to be working, right? Because the Lord is coming back to give you a reward. So now you got individuals that walk about like everything is all sweet. You ask them, what's your purpose in life? Why were you put on the earth? What do you mean? What kind of question is that? They don't even know how to even answer a question like that. Because they don't know what and ultimately, you know why that is? As it says in the book of 2nd Esdras, let the multitude then perish which was born in vain. They don't have a purpose. Their only purpose is to be the extras on the set. Like, The Walking Dead, they actually audition for zombie roles. You got a whole bunch of people that audition to be zombies. Now tell me which one of them, if you see an individual walking right now, he said, yo, I was on The Walking Dead. You're going to look at him again and you're going to want, what episode did I see? Oh, I was one of the zombies. Oh, all right, cool. The only time you see a zombie is if it's getting his brains blown out, if it's eating somebody else, if it's getting his head chopped off, or if it's just in a mass, just that's it. So that's what these people are. And that's why when you ask them, so what's your purpose? Why were you put here? They don't know. They were put here to fuel the fire. they were put here to be missile food. Because that's why a lot of them, that's why you notice there's a lot more people that are against this truth than are for this truth. Because you're going to have a lot more people destroyed and used as missile food than those that are going to repent. Right? Go ahead. So when the Lord said to give every man as his work shall be, the elect who are serving the Lord, who got the talents and they're flipping it by coming out here and pushing this word and doing their lessons and teaching and feeding the Lord's sheep. That's one kind of work, and that's going to get the reward of salvation, which begins with the mark of exemption in Ezekiel 9:4.
I was gonna say, to add to your point, and we're happy doing the Lord's work. And I read a quote earlier this morning: a man finds true delight in doing his purpose in life, something along those lines. And you see a lot of people in this world, they're miserable, but the prophets of the Lord were happy, we're good.
And ultimately that's why we're so passionate about this work that we do. We don't come out here upset and angry and hurt and sad. No, we come here excited and ready and willing to do the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because that is our true purpose. Look, man, if you watch like certain shows, right, certain animated cartoons, and you got maybe like an inanimate object that has been personified, so it can speak, it can act like a human. You'll notice that if the object isn't used, like Toy Story, what happened when Andy grew up and he didn't want to play with the toys no more? They lost all joy and all sense of purpose in life, and every toy was trying to be that one toy that didn't get packed into the box and just shelved, because they want to be used. They want to be, Andy plays with me. Look, that's why when Buzz Lightyear got in there, they all hated him at first, because they said, who this new nigga that Andy likes? Yeah, he don't play with us no more. Buzz looking at them while he's being played with. Yeah, nigga, I bet you wish it was me, right? Yeah, But that's because a toy is made to be played with. A car is made to be driven. So if a car could talk, if you about to go, anytime you about to step out your house, that car gonna ask you, you need a ride? You know what I'm saying? You want to drive? You want to drive? But you say, nah, I'm just going to the store, I'm gonna walk. He gonna say, it's mad cold out. You don't gotta walk. Just hop in the car. Take me for a spin. The car will try to convince you to drive it because that's when it feels most alive, because that's what it was made to do. And naturally mess up your car by not driving it at all. There you go. See, so we were made to prophesy. We can't help but prophesy. What did Jeremiah say? He said that I said I wasn't going to speak the word of the Lord. Yo, look, I'm telling you from the heart of hearts that we cannot help but prophesy. You try having a conversation with somebody and not mention anything related to what's going on in the world, real life, the truth. Just try to have a conversation with somebody and see how long that conversation is gonna last. It ain't going. You go, hi, what's up? Oh, okay, you get to know them a bit. But if you can't hold up, when you get into conversation, this is gonna come up. You see what's going on in Ukraine, or you heard about this, or they said they're doing this. They're gonna bring it up. They're gonna bring it up because people see what's going on. So they're gonna tell you, yeah, it's crazy. I went to the store and they said I can't use any more cash. What you gonna stand? Wow, did you see the game last night? You're gonna try to switch the topic, but it's gonna burn within you because you're gonna want to say, yeah, you don't see no cash, right? You know what that's leading to, and you're gonna want to get into it. You cannot help but talk about this truth. If you're a true man of the Lord, anybody you talk to, and people that know us, they'll tell you that's all they talk about. They don't stop talking about it. Matter of fact, my mom, she be going through it at home, because every single time I step out the room, she know what I'm about to say got something to do with, but she knows that what we're saying is true. So these people that know us will tell you, yeah, when you talk to this individual. So if something goes on that's related to what we talk about, the first people they think about is us. And that shows you that that's the spirit the Lord has put within us. You deal with boxers and dancers and musicians and chefs, people who have a trade. Ask them why do they do it? Because I love it. That's what they're gonna tell you. And they feel most alive when they do it, when I'm cooking. And so they'll have like certain shows where they'll say, this is my routine. I do this, and they do it so well. They chop this shut, they do this, and they just do it, and they just want to see your reaction when you taste their food. Ratatouille, that's a good example, right? And you see the movie was all about chefing, right? He was controlling the chef and shit, put some of this here, put some of this here, and that's when he felt most alive. So that's how it is for us when it comes to the word of the Lord.
Yeah, brother has a precept. This is humble and contrite 144K. This is Jeremiah 20:9. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart as a burning fire, shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay.
Right. It was as a burning fire, right? Because it was he couldn't help himself but to talk about the word of the Lord. That's how powerful the word of the Lord is. And the scriptures say, whoever resisted his will, right? Amos said, the Lord has spoken. Who can but there you go. There you go. Right? Got it.
22 and 13. Revelation. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end,
right?
The first and the last. 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Blessed are they that do his commandments. Whose commandments? The commandments of the Heavenly Father. Not your boss's commandments. Not saying go and disobey what they tell you. You know, not Biden's commandments, not Klaus Schwab's commandments, but the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And a lot of people they have a problem doing that. They'll do something that they saw on YouTube and they'll follow that regimen, but you tell them, the Lord tells you, you gotta, right now we in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? The time of the Passover. How many people are actually eating unleavened bread? They're not. They drinking beer, for St. Patrick's Day. They eating anything that cookies, sandwiches, all that, having a good old time. And they have no idea that you ain't even supposed to do that. But the thing is, yeah, some people don't know, but some know and they don't care. They ain't gonna take the diligence to think about it. You mean to tell me somebody blesses you with a beautiful scent? Oh, the thing is so perfect, looks so good, it smells so good, and you about to take a bite and you realize, hold up, that's bread I'm holding right there. That bread got You mean to tell me somebody in the world is gonna put that down and say, nah, I ain't having that? You done prepared the joint? Or you went out to eat, somebody takes you out to eat, and they order something for you. You come and the food is all set, and you find out that the joint got leaven in it. You're gonna sit there, somebody in the world is gonna sit there and say, I ain't gonna eat it after the person done paid for it already? Yeah, bro, look, hey, they're gonna take the bite. And then they're gonna go home and feel guilty later and then try to pray for forgiveness. But see, that's not how forgiveness works, because you knew exactly what you were about to do before you did it. You sinned willfully. You knew what you were gonna do was going off. So why didn't you not do it? Because you gave into your lust of the flesh.
Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
There you go. In all thy ways, what? Acknowledge him. God. So the Lord, so anything you do, you got to know the Lord got a part in it. And if you do that, like Abraham, right? Yeah. You got it, bro. You got it.
This is Genesis chapter 20.
Good precept.
I don't know like how to get the picture.
Yeah, you can. No, you do it. Sum it up.
All right, cool. Well, so I'm just bringing out this precept to back up what the brother said, that the fact that you remembered that it's 11, and that that itself, that remembrance in your mind, that itself it's the Most High putting that thought in your head. So when you willingly sin, this is what the Most High. We have an example of that in the scripture. So this is Genesis chapter 20, starting from verse 6.
That's Abimelech?
Yeah, that's Abimelech. Now, to understand this better, I don't want to read the whole chapter, but to understand this better, what happened was Abimelech took. Right. Read it. All right. Genesis chapter 20, starting from verse 1. It says,
the scriptures say that the spirit is like the wind. So the Lord might just, you bring this out here.
And Abraham journeyed from thence towards the south country, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah, but God came to Abimelech in a dream by night.
So now Abraham and Sarah, Abraham knew that, you know what? These people if they know that she's my wife, they're not just gonna take her because that's adultery.
Yeah.
So what's that gonna mean for me? They're gonna unless her husband is not alive, that's when they could take her. So that means they're gonna kill me and then they're gonna take her anyway. So you know what? To save me alive and just tell them. And he told Sarah, wherever we go, you tell them you my sister, right? And when you actually read it, she was the daughter of his father.
Yeah.
So that's why he said that. And so the king of Gerar, Abimelech says, oh well, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's his sister. All right, I'm gonna take that.
And said to him, behold, thou art but it says, but God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, behold, thou art but a dead man for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
Oh Lord. See now, this right here, if you was watching a soap opera, this would be like a season finale where the dude gets the wife and then he finally finds out the secret. Boom, that's somebody else's wife. Yeah, then this, the soap operas, they show this guy's face, then this guy's face, then this guy's face, and everybody and somebody dropped the plate and shit, the servant comes in, right, because they find out. He's like, oh, that's somebody else's wife. But why? How? You told me that. Well, he's gonna say it.
But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord.
Right. So he hadn't tried to pop her.
Yeah. Right. And he said, Lord, will thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he unto me, said he not unto me, she is my sister?
Right.
And she even herself, and she even herself said, he is my brother.
There you go. So he said, Lord, hold on a second. I didn't sin. You know what I'm saying? Like I did the right thing. That's why he said a righteous nation. I did the right thing because he told me that was his sister. Didn't he say that? And didn't she say that was his brother? They both. Yo, that's your sister? That's your brother? All right, cool.
In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this.
I didn't know that they were actually. I know they were lying to me. So I didn't have any intention of that. I wasn't trying to commit adultery.
And God said unto him in a dream, yea, I know thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me.
There you go. So the Lord said, I knew that you weren't doing it to commit adultery. That's why I came to your ass and told you that if you touch, I'm gonna kill you. So that way I can hold you back from doing it. So now, if you say, nah, I ain't trying to hear that, she fine as hell, let me grab onto that. Then you're gonna be put to death. Because now okay, I know exactly what I'm about to do, and I was warned, and that's why it's important that we out here. Because peradventure, we would be likened onto the stead of how the Most High warned him. Yeah. So when we out here giving people warning, we like how the Most High came to Abimelech. Yeah. Because you got some people sitting out here that don't know that what they're doing is going off. They're not informed properly. Because these churches have told them, no, it's okay for you to eat pork and do this and do that. Some people actually do it because the churches told them that. Right? So they've been lied to and they've been deceived into thinking doing wickedness is okay. That's why we got to come out here and tell them, no.
Bring it out. This is Jeremiah chapter 35, starts from verse 15. It says, I have sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil ways, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them.
So now how do you know that this kingdom is evil ultimately? Because the Lord sent the prophets. Because most of the time, when would the Lord send his prophets? When he's about to judge a nation. Right. And that's why he said, read that part again.
I have sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil way.
Return ye now every man from his evil way. Why didn't he say, return ye now every man from his righteous way? Why didn't he send the prophets to tell people, yo, keep doing that righteousness? Because if you're doing what's right, then you good. What is a warning? Somebody, you got your phone on you? Matter of fact, I'll look it up. We're going to look up you can read that again. We're going to look up what the word warning means.
I have sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil way and amend your doings.
Right. Now, the word warning here says a statement or event that indicates a possible or impending danger, problem, or other unpleasant situation, right? A cautionary advice. So A warning is, yo, if you keep doing what you're doing, this is what's gonna happen to you. Well, he's not warning, you know, or hey, stop whatever you're doing right there. The cops warn you, right? When they come, some of them they just blast your ass. Some of them will come and say, "Stop moving, or we will shoot." Right? Stop resisting arrest. Hands up, hands up, hands up, or stop right there. And that is the warning. They tell you if you take another step forward, I'm gonna shoot you. That is your warning, telling you that whatever you're doing is bad. Yeah. So stop it, or else it's gonna lead to something worse. So that's what a warning is. So that's what we are here for, to warn you. Now, if we're here to warn you, what does that tell you? That tells you that what you're doing is bad, and if you keep doing it, you're gonna end up in a worse position. So the fact that the prophets of the Lord are out here means that what? The world is going off. That's why the Lord sent us at the end, 1 Corinthians 4:9. He sent us forth last. All right, you got it. And then okay, so you can bring out what you got.
Proverbs 3:7. Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil.
So what does it mean to be wise in your own eyes? Oh, I don't got to listen to no man. I know the scriptures say this, but that's not really what it is. I do whatever I want to do. I'm going to outsmart the Most High. He said, don't take the charagma. In Revelation 13, it said, in your right hand on your forehead. I'm going to take it about my upper thigh, my calf. Because then that way, what it said was right hand on forehead, right? And it said, don't add to the words of the Lord, right? So why are you telling me I can't put it in my left hand? It said right over here. You trying to be wise in your own eyes. You trying to outsmart the Most High. You trying to find a way around, and you know damn well that this is what the Lord meant. But just because, it doesn't explicitly say right there, so you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. Well, guess what the Most High is gonna do to you?
Jump down. Proverbs 3:11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. 12. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth.
Oh, read that again.
12. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth.
See that key? That last part is key. In whom he delighteth. So now you got to ask yourself, wait, a father corrects his son, right? The Lord corrects us as a father corrects his son, in whom he delighteth, meaning that he loves that son extra. So he's going to correct him more than the rest. Why? Because he wants that son to be perfect. So he's going, every little thing that the son does, the others might do it, but he might warn them, but on you, he might get on you harder. And people wonder, like even if you want a sports team, there's certain athletes that the coach is more focused on. Anything, you might be running, right? You might have to run a sprint, and everybody's going full speed, but this one ain't going full speed, so now everybody got to run it again. Why is he doing that? Or he might say, everybody sit down, you get on the track, go. Why is he doing that? You might think, damn, he doesn't like me. Damn, he's bullying me. Damn, he's putting me on the spot. He wants me to look bad. He's embarrassing me. Why is he doing that? Because he wants you to be better than the rest. He's giving you because the same way when you eat vegetables, they don't taste good, but they really are good for you. When you get punished, the scriptures say no chastening of the present times is joyful. It's not joyous. When you yelled at, when you told things that are wrong about you, a lot of people don't like to hear that. Because it makes you what? It makes you feel bad. That's when your emotions come up. But you know what happens? Over time, you grow tough skin. Over time, you hear, you get used to that. So it doesn't really bother you. But at the end of the day, there's a reason that that's happening to you. Because the Lord knows that, look, the more I get on you, the more perfect you become. The more I sharpen you, the sharper you become. If I spend more time sharpening you than everybody else, you're going to be the sharpest. If you spend more time studying than others, you're going to know more because you're going to be putting in more work. So that's why it says the son whom the Lord delighteth. You may think, damn, if the Lord, that's why Paul said, whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. So why would he chasten you? Because if he doesn't, you're going to end up in a what? In a worse predicament. If somebody's about to get hit by a car and I don't care about them, am I gonna say something? No. But if somebody's about, let me give you an example. Because you know me, I'm the parables guy, right? I just give examples for a living, right? So now, if you saw maybe, I don't know, maybe Jacob Rothschild or what's this guy's name, David Rockefeller, right? Or maybe somebody just killed your wife and you saw them right there and they, I don't know, they got hit in the leg or some shit and there's a car coming, or they're on the train tracks and there's a train coming and you standing there, you looking at them, you gonna sit there and contemplate within yourself, should I even help this guy after the shit he done did? Should I maybe tell the train to speed up a bit more? Now, if that was your newborn son, your 2-year-old son that ran into the middle of the street, you think you're going to even spend a split second to contemplate nothing? No. What's the first thing? You're going to run right there. And even if you get hit by the car, you're going to risk your life to save that child. So the difference between how you warn somebody that you love versus how you warn somebody you don't love is different. Somebody you don't know, you're going to yell at them, yo, get out the way. If it's your newborn son, you ain't going to yell, you're going to run over there, right? So that's the same thing. You're going to do more for somebody you love than you don't. So when it comes to chastening, you're going to chastise somebody you love even more. They'll tell you, I expected more from you. You should know better. Why everybody else is the same? I ain't talking about everybody else. I'm dealing with you. You're like, well, what? But when you're a kid, you don't really understand. But when you grow up, you realize there's certain things you don't do that others might do. Or certain things, there was that movie, it had Ice Cube in it. And when they were kids, I think it might be Boys in the Hood, where the father was more hard on that kid. He didn't let him hang out with Ice Cube and the other boy, Ricky. I think it's the same movie where Ricky shot the nigga in the back. Right. And he was like, damn, yo, my pops, I'm trying to come out and play ball. He said, nah, I gotta study. So he was prohibited from doing certain things that the other kids could do. But what was that doing? The pops told him, it's because I want you to have a better life. They're not gonna get the opportunities you're gonna get. Because they don't got somebody like me to get on their ass all the time. The scriptures say a child left to himself will become what? Willful. Yeah. The scriptures also say train up a child in the way where he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart. So if you don't train your child, you know who's going to train your child? The streets. And when he is older, he ain't going to depart. So he's going to become a gang member. He's going to be dead. He's going to be selling drugs. He's going to be getting women impregnated when he can't take care of them. But if you train him up, he's going to come out the way you train him to be. That's why the Most High chastens us. That's why we catch hell. Because the Most High is training us up, starting where? In the mind. If you look at yourself now versus before, when you first came in the truth, you'll see a big difference. Because you're being trained in the right way, in the ways of righteousness.
Yeah, if I may say, like, it's pretty simple because, like, when you really think about it, right? Humans, man was born with nothing. Anybody that was born had to be told or something like that. When somebody takes an extra care, when somebody gives you extra attention, they try to teach you the righteous way. And it's because they don't want you wasting the rest of your experience doing trial and error. That's why there's an adage. I forgot how to quote it right, but it's something to the effect of an obedient man. He sort of like he lives multiple lives because when he takes in the wisdom of the people around him, he doesn't have to. He has lived. He's already taken the experience of the person who spoke to him, so he doesn't have to live that life. I hope I'm not explaining it right, but I hope brothers know what I mean. No,
it makes sense. It's like for example, you got two paths, right? Me and this brother, or two brothers going, you got two paths, right? Now, one brother was told ahead, yo, by an elder, I got to that point before, don't go to the left path. The left path is the wrong one. You're going to get fucked up over there. Go to right. And then the other one didn't know that. So when they both go there, the other one that didn't know, I'm going to go to the left one. He's going to have to spend time, pain, suffering to go and learn the lesson that this one was told ahead of time. So the time that this guy's suffering to that trial and error, the other one who was warned ahead of time he's way ahead in life. So yeah, that's why we got elders.
And I was gonna bring out I forget the guy's name. He's a philosopher. He said a fool learns from his own mistakes, and a wise man learns from others' mistakes. So we're coming from a perspective of being a wise man. If you know the fire gonna burn your hand, don't put your hand in the fire. Like it's easy. But most people now, If they're not taught first, they just put their hand in the fire. They don't know better. When you know better, you do better.
It may not seem bad that you have to learn from your own mistakes until you realize that there are some mistakes that a man can't make. Too costly, right? They're too costly, right? You can make the mistake of putting salt in your food instead of sugar. That's a mistake. You can make the mistake of running and and falling, but you can't make the mistake of finding fault within a man who has the ability to kill, like the scripture tells you. Because at that exactly at that point you're dead. There's no hope for you. So it's very, very important that you hold dear warnings from the Most High. It's very important that you cherish the scriptures, the teachings from the scriptures, man. Because look, man, you can't live in life by your own thing. You weren't meant to like the elder Itazwan, he mentioned in this video that we weren't meant to do our own thing. We were always meant to be taught. We were meant to be led. Right. We were meant to have commandments, like something ahead of us, directions, right? Because you don't know it. Like I said, you were born knowing nothing, man. And there are some things that's gonna kill you right then and then, or some things that's gonna burden you for the rest of your life. Whereas you can avoid all of that by just listening. That's why we read the precept earlier. A wise man comprehends much in a few words, man. It's very, very important that you're quiet and you listen and you intake. And seeing as how we in the end of this time, the Most High, with being merciful and gracious unto Israel, made it to where the price is to just listen, man, be obedient. The price isn't for you to build a multi-billion-dollar company and pay $3 trillion into the Most High for a seat on a chariot. The price is very simple. It's not that deep, man. Obedience. That's why you understand that Saul lost that privilege of being a king of Israel because of disobedience, man. Right. Disobedience, man. All you have to do is listen and do what the Most High tells you. And the Most High is not so how do I put it? He's not so mischievous that he's going to give you cryptic messages where you have to he makes it very clear, man. The commandments were very, very clear.
That's why he was very repetitive.
Exactly. Yahushua too was very, very clear, very repetitive. He spoke a cryptic message, but now it was cryptic at first, but now we know it now. That's why it says that what? In that day, nobody can come to the Most High and say, I don't know. There's no such thing, man. You can't come to the Most High and say, I didn't hear the word being spoken to me. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do this. No, you can't say that.
So what's that saying? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you have to listen twice as much as you speak.
That's right. Yeah. Some people don't seem to understand that.
And the thing is that the worst part about it is the fact that it's this easy. That's what makes the Most High gets pissed off even more. So now that the judgment gets worse and worse and worse because there's nothing as simple as listening.
God, that's why I still. Hey, I was just thinking about that. I know you asked something too, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I was thinking about that because with the Lord, obedience is the cheapest cost. Yeah. And disobedience is the most expensive penalty. Because, like you said, Saul lost everything over disobedience. And David gained everything over obedience. Yeah. See how cheap it is to, like you said, just listen. Yeah. That's all it is. If you listen and you don't follow what the Lord says, you're gonna lose way too much. Yeah. And the Lord is not, and there's a reason because it's so easy to do the right thing. You just gotta listen, man.
That's why I was trying to say, take it by yoke upon thee, man.
It is easy.
It is easy to have by yoke upon thee. So,
you read your piece.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower estate.
Why is that? Because ultimately the scriptures say that better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So you don't know what your end is going to be like. Sometimes the bitterness you're going through now is really for a greater good. But people, the second they go through a little bit of bitterness, oh no, I don't want it. Well, when you were a child, they tell you got to eat your veggies. It don't taste good, right? But when you grow up, you're much stronger.
You have good organs. You're gonna be glad you didn't have to pay all that medical bills to be healthy.
Yep. Because what do? You listen.
That's
you
right.
Listen. See how easy it is? You just got ultimately, man, that's a lesson right there. By listening, you're gonna become immortal. You're gonna gain a kingdom. You're gonna be made a king. You're gonna everything you want. All from what? Listening.
Yeah.
That's what it starts with. You gotta listen. Matter of fact, real quick, you can keep reading on that. But Revelation 3 and 20. You got it.
Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Now, what is the job of a furnace? Because when it says acceptable men, it's likening us onto gold or precious metal. And the way you purge the dross, which the dross is the unwanted parts, the way you purge it is through that fire. So you put it in the fire, and the fire burns away the impurities. So now let me give you a real life example. You're maybe you're of the elect. That makes you gold. A man more precious than fine gold, right? Ultimately, when the Lord says he's going to make us more precious than fine gold, that's because he's going to purge out all the dirt off of us. But you may be of the elect, but you may have some worldly tendencies, which is the dirt that's around you. So the Lord might have you get caught up in a situation that messes you up because of those worldly tendencies. And what happens when you're in that situation? You're in the fire. And what happens when you're there? As the fire is purging you, that's when you start to realize, I should stop doing what I'm doing. Because it's because of that I got in this position in the first place. So what happens after you get out of that situation? You drop the bad habit. The same way when the Lord takes you out that fire, you come out shining because now the dirt is off you. And now you get better. And the Lord does that with different situations. That's why they're called faith boosters and trials, to test us and to make us purer. So that's why ultimately when Yahushua gets here, what did Paul say? He's going to present us as a chaste virgin, meaning that we're going to be clean and ready and presentable at the return of Yahushua.
That's it. Revelation chapter 3, starting from verse 20, it says, behold, I stand at the door and knock.
Now, knocking makes what? A sound. And anything dealing with sounds deal with what? The ears, listening, right? And your ears, through the waves, through your brain, interpret the sounds into whatever message your brain needs to hear. Because your brain deals with vibrations. The words I'm saying right now, you know what they are? They're just vibrations. They're just vibrations bouncing off of different forms of matter and going into your ear. And that's how crazy the mind is, that the mind can interpret vibrations into messages. When you got animals, dogs bark. You know what barking is? Barking is a vibration. But the Lord designed the mind of the dog to be able to interpret that vibration. So that's why they can speak to each other. Our minds right now can't interpret the vibration of dogs or dolphins or pigeons or birds or chimpanzees, but they understand each other. How is that? You see, because it's all vibrations. So you will read it, right? So the Lord said, behold, I stand at the door and knock, meaning that he's going to be dealing with this, right? What else is he going to say?
If any man hear my voice.
Whoa, if any man hear my voice. Look up, there's a precept that says, I think it's in Isaiah, ye shall hear a voice behind thy ear saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. Just type in word search, walk ye in it, and see what comes up. But if any man what?
If any man hear my voice.
If any man hear my voice, right? Yeah. Now pause that real quick. Go to what you got? You can drop Romans. Get Matthew 10 and 20. This is why the scriptures say, for precept must be upon precept, right? Since I said that, let me get that.
That's scary. I was just thinking arguments about voice.
That's it.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? Gone. Well, I ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna just quote it. So the scriptures say, for precept must be upon precept, right? Well, this is why. So what you got?
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee.
Thine ears shall hear a word behind thee. What's that word saying? And ultimately, who's the word? Yahushua. Right? Go ahead.
This is the way. Walk ye in it.
This is the way, walk ye in it. And that ultimately, that's the sound of the prophets. Go ahead, because all these people walking by, that scripture applies to them. They're hearing a word behind their ears saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. And what are they doing? They're walking right by it. So they're not obeying. So they be what? Disobedient. So what are they going to pay? The highest penalty. And what is that? That's death and pain. Oh, second Ezra, he said they shall know it after death by what? Pain. Go ahead.
When ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left, ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver.
Right. So when you walking by, that's why the Lord said for us to come out to the highways and byways. So everybody that walks by, they're gonna hear that voice behind their ear saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. Now that's good on that. Let's go back, reread this part again.
Behold,
Still have
Revelation
Matthew
3 and 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
Right?
If any man hear my voice and open the door,
So now if any man hear my voice, right? So what is the Lord's voice? The Lord's voice are what? The prophets. Get that?
Matthew 10 and 20.
Mhm.
For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you.
So how does the Spirit of the Father come to us? It goes through Yahushua via the angels, via us. Because as we're speaking, you want to know how we're able to quote these precepts off the top? It ain't us. It's because you got angels that are working on our minds. He might throw one here, throw a precept here. Brother might say, oh, I got a precept. And the brother might say, oh, what precept you got? And he might say, oh, Roman, oh, that's the same one I got. Yeah, because angel threw it up. You know, and we all grabbed it. You know what I mean? So, but that's how you keep the lesson going. Because we go in the Spirit of the Lord, right? So the Lord said, where 2 or 3 are gathered, there I am in the midst thereof. So if the Spirit of the Lord is here, guess what? We're going to speak the words of the Lord. We're going to be in one accord. So the Lord said, if any man hear my voice, and we know that that's by the way of the prophets. You going?
yeah, I will come into him and will sup with him,
And we'll sup with him,
and he with me.
and he with me. So what does Revelation 3 and 20 really mean? What it means is you're going to hear the men of the Lord speaking like we read over there. What was that precept?
Isaiah 30 and 21.
Isaiah 30 and 21. You're going to hear the men of the Lord speaking. He look like the Marvel guy. What's this guy's name? The guy from Marvel. Stan Lee. Yeah, he like Stan Lee. You know, so you're gonna hear us speaking, right? And that's the Lord standing at the door and knocking. The door is your mind. And how you hearing the sound? By walking past. The voice behind your ear, that's the knocking. If any man, read that again.
If any man would hear my voice
If any man hear my voice,
and open the door,
and open the door, meaning that you're gonna stop and you're gonna listen. You're gonna really open the door, which is your mind. When you're walking by, right, and you hearing us teaching, you just, you either on your phone or you on the phone or you walking, your mind is somewhere else, but you're hearing the knocking. So if you stop and you turn and then you focus your attention over here. That's you opening the door, because now you're more receptive to whatever we're telling you.
verse 22, he that has ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So if the Lord has opened up your spiritual ears, you're going to be able to hear the words we're speaking. If he hasn't, you're just going to hear sounds.
Yeah.
You're not going to open the door. But once you open the door here, what did the Lord say? That I would come in and sup with him. Meaning the Spirit of the Lord is now going to start to deal with you. And that's when you go, oh, yeah, that's crazy. Yo, you know how many times we've had people say, that's crazy. I always walk by and I never stop. But like, yo, this is crazy. I didn't know this is what you were talking about. I didn't know that was in the Bible. Wow. And then as they receive it, that's them having the ear. And that's the Lord starting to sup with them. Then if they're of the elect, they're gonna stop calling on Jesus. They're gonna call on Yahushua. They're gonna call on Yahweh. You know, they're gonna start changing their ways, and eventually they're gonna follow in the ways of righteousness. Then there you go. All through what? Listening. That's the key. Listening. Power of listening, right? That's why the Lord gave us a mouth. Matter of fact, what you got? Get Isaiah 51. Revelation 22, right? I don't know if we finished on that. I'm up on Omega. Yeah, we'll read that again. Yeah, but you could start with Revelation. Okay.
Revelation 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly.
So now back to where we started. The Lord said, behold, I come quickly. Now the Lord coming quickly, by the time the Lord gets here, there's a certain state that the whole world got to be in. And as a matter of fact, since I said that real quick, drop that and get Matthew 24 and 14. All right. Because there's a certain state that the world got to be in upon Yahushua's return. Right. And that's why he ain't going to return until the world is in that state. And at that point, he can then begin to do what he has to do. Because all the groundwork and everything has already been laid. We don't got to go back and, I got to check he came late, so I got to go check his files. And no. Everybody's been marked.
Got it. Matthew chapter 24, starting from verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
So what is the gospel? The gospel is the whole book.
Yeah.
For everything in there, from the parts you like to the parts you don't like, it's the whole book.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. Because we preach the whole book. We preach the whole Bible. Go ahead.
It shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
So how is the word of the Lord being preached throughout the whole world by way of this internet? Because right now, there may not be many people here, but over the internet, you don't know how many people are going to see this video. You don't know where they are. India, Ghana.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I posted a clip one time, and because of, like, copyright laws and all these things, it wasn't allowed to be played in America. But you go on and you have like 7 views and all these. I'm like, oh shit! So there are those that are outside of this place that are still watching this video. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, you know?
Yeah. When you check the demographics, it'll show you where the views are coming from.
Oh, yeah.
You have some people in China, some people in Korea. You understand it? You know, but they do.
Right. It shall be preached for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come. And who's gonna come with the end? Yahushua. Because at that point, he's ready to do what we're about to read right here.
Revelation 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be.
Yeah, because after the word is gonna let you do one of two things. It's gonna either make you do the works of righteousness or continue in the works of wickedness. So either way, everybody gonna have works done, right? Not working is a form of work, okay? To the Lord, that is. So he said to give every man as his work shall be. That's why he's gonna come at the end, because then he can just judge you accordingly. You don't gotta come and do, oh, you in here. No. I already know who those that are the elect have the mark of exemption. The rest you done. So that at that point, life is made easy for the Lord. That's why some people are going to come and say, oh, Lord, Lord, yada, yada, yada. And he say, look, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. Because I have not known you. Why not? Because you're not written in the book of life. So I don't know you. Who the hell are you? That's like if Drake, see, a lot of people know these famous artists, but just because you know somebody don't mean they know you. Here it is, you see Drake. Yo, Drake, oh my, you coming to him like, he's looking at you like, oh, who's this guy? What you mean? I listen to your music all the time. And who the fuck? I don't know you. So yeah, how was I going? Well, we prophesied your name, okay, but I don't know you. Who the hell are you? See what I mean? And you don't want to, man. Even in the world, you try to go and dap somebody up, and they dub your shit. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, all right, okay, all right, it's all good. But how much more for your house side? Because you get dubbed by your house side. It's not embarrassment that all right, I'm gonna just keep my. You know what I'm saying? No. That's your ass. Because if the Hawashai is here and you make yourself known, oh Lord, 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 now the eyes are on you. And then you get dubbed. Now what? Now if you had a chance of hiding under a car somewhere, now your ass is done because there's a nice laser beam that's getting ready to come and eviscerate your ass.
I just didn't know where to begin. But it's dealing with after the death of the Hawashai. It says afterwards he appeared unto the 11th. Oh. Mark chapter 16, starting from verse 14. You know what?
Get all the meat off that point.
Oh, yeah. All right. Verse 1? That's crazy.
Yeah, whatever.
Mark chapter 16, starting from verse 1. It says, and when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene, the mother of James and Salome, had bought sweet spices, and that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun, and they said among themselves,
because they had this thing where you would embalm the body, and that's what like the Egyptians did to preserve the body, and they even, when you read in the book of Genesis, get into the death of I think Joseph and them. Because it tells you that they would do that with the salt and so on and so forth, because it dehydrates it basically drains out all the fluids. Yeah, and all you left with is just that's why if you go to the museum and you see like the little bodies they got of like ancient Egyptians, it looks like shriveled up skin, just there and shit.
And they said amongst themselves, who shall roll us away the stones from the door of the sepulchre?
Right, because when in the ancient world, the burial places, the sepulchres, they were caves, and the cave would have a little mouth, and they would have a circular stone like that. That like if you can imagine a feeding trough, like on the front, and then you would have the stone that they would be able to roll it to open it or roll it to close it. And that wasn't something that you could just do by yourself, especially not them.
Yeah.
That's a heavy ass stone. So that's why they said who's gonna open it for us.
Yeah. And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? This is as good as going.
And entering into a sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment.
So now you know that the angels ain't no old people.
Yeah.
It said a young man.
Yes.
And when you go into the book of Maccabees, the angels that came down and taught Heliodorus a lesson, they were young men.
Yeah.
And it says calmly, meaning that they look good in appearance.
Yeah.
And it says they were valiant, meaning they were strong. They were what the world would call brolic, right?
Yeah. Clothed in long white garments, and they were.
Oh, so the angels wear clothes. They wear garments.
Yeah.
So you got niggas coming up making fun of us, but in the spirit world they wear garments.
Yeah.
The scriptures tell you that the Most High had a garment down to the foot.
Yo, they'll make fun of us, but then they neglect to mention the Catholic Church with their paintings of butt-ass naked angels. So what the fuck?
Right, yep. With wings and shit.
Yeah.
Cupid. Flying with his little bows and arrows and shit. Disrespect.
And he said unto them, be not afraid, ye seek Yahushua of Nazareth, which was crucified.
So how did he know that? How did he get in? Hold on. How did he get in there?
He is written, he is risen, he is not here. Behold the place where they lay him.
So he was sitting there, and he showed him the one you're looking for, Yahushua. He ain't here no more. Look, he wrote. So because he told you that he was going to rise on the third day. So there you go.
But go your way, tell his disciples and Peter that goeth before you in Galilee into Galilee.
So how did they know that? How did they know Peter?
I know where he was going.
Yeah, I didn't know where he was going, because he was an angel.
Yeah.
And they see everything. Why you think they got them chariots?
There shall ye see him, and as he said unto you.
As he said unto you. Go on.
And they went out quickly and fled from the sepulchre, for they trembled and were amazed.
So they were shook, because the word amazed in today's society, you hear the amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So you may think amazed is like, oh, that's so amazing, like you're so joyous. The word amazed really means shocked, something shocking or astonishing. So after the angel had told them that, they fled away quickly because they were afraid. They were like, oh man, they see that. Number one, you see a man sitting there in white apparel, and he's telling you all these things, and afterwards they dip.
For they trembled and were amazed.
They trembled, shaking. You know what I'm saying? Fear.
Neither said they anything to any man, for they were afraid.
They were afraid. They got shook. And that was an angel. That was an angel. And this said he was a young man.
Yeah.
He had the way. So how much more for a demon? Here it is. You come home, put your keys in, you unlock it, and you see the lights off, and there's a demon with red eyes sitting on your couch. And he got the TV on and shit. He flipping through the channels, his legs crossed. Hey, I've been waiting for you. And he closed that door behind you. And next thing you know, you're sitting right next to him. You're like, how the hell did I end up here? Hey, look, so when the Lord said, he said, men starts fearing them for fear, but for looking on the things that are going to be happening on the earth, it ain't no joke. You open your house and come to demons, and then they lock the door behind you. The demon tell you come in, and he closed the door behind your ass. You ain't going nowhere. They can start ripping your ears off, man. That's when you go. Go on.
Now, when Yahushua was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary and Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast seven devils.
Oh, he cast out 7 devils. That's it.
And
that's what that Jake was expecting.
Yeah.
We was gonna go find a lady and tell her, hey, look, come here. Maybe you might just be married. Come here. Let me cast out some demons off you. She might just bite your fingers off. Then next time you see whose demons you're gonna be casting off. Go on.
And she went and told them that had been with him, as they mourned and wept.
Yeah, because they were sad. Because see, you had a lot of them when the day came, some of them were still shaky about it. You know, they were like, damn, how should I really die? Because yeah, because look, somebody dies, right? And tells you I'm gonna rise on the third day. You might have faith, but that's still something. And then the second day goes by, and the third day goes by, and you just dead, and you're like, yo, he's really dead. Like, yo, well, he's really gonna rise though. Like, yo, it's been 3 days. You know? Oh man, this shit, oh, this great. And then you got a lot of people out there that are also disbelieving. So that's pushing that energy out there. Huh?
And they, when they had heard that he was alive and had been seen of her, believed not.
You see? They ain't believing it. Oh yeah, all right, yeah, okay. Especially Thomas. If Thomas was there, man, you already know. Yeah. Look, don't come here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we already, yeah, you can't read the atmosphere. You know, we already mourning. What you think is a joke? You know, especially because they women too.
Yeah.
You know, imagine you hearing a report. Yo, we done seen Yahushua. The angel told us that we saw him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. We saw him too.
They believed not after that he appeared in another form unto two of them as they walked and went into the country.
Yep, and I believe that's in the book of Luke. They were going to the city of Emmaus, and the Lord and Yahushua came onto them. But you good?
Yeah.
He came onto them, but they ain't recognized him because he didn't make himself known unto them until he opened their eyes afterward. But he came onto them. And he was, you know, he's like, what's up? What's going on? Why everybody so sad and down and stuff? You know, and matter of fact, let's see if we can find that in the book of Luke. Let me word search that for you. You can reread that part again. Just go back up like a verse.
Right. And she went and told them that had been with him as they mourned and wept. And they, when they had heard that he was alive and had been seen of her, believed not.
Jump back up 2 verses, and then first, before you read that, we're gonna read this here. Read Luke 24. Let's start the first verse. It's going to sort of be like parallel to this, but it'll give you a little bit. This Mark 16 you reading, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So Luke 24. So read this part again up until the part where they said yeah, read from verse 8 up until where it says they didn't believe him.
Right. 1. And they went out quickly and fled from the sepulchre, for they trembled and were amazed. And neither said they anything to any man, for they were afraid.
And who were these? Read up a bit, I'll tell you their names. Mary Magdalene?
Yeah, Mary and Yahushua's mother, Mary Magdalene.
All right. Go on.
Now, when Yahushua was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils.
Now pause that. Read Luke 24:1.
Luke 24:1. Now upon the first day of the week.
Now, hold on a second. Why didn't it say Monday or Sunday? So when is the first day of the week? Why didn't it say Monday, Sunday? You know, people talk about Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. First day of the week. When is first day of the week? Because I can tell you the first day of the week could be Monday, it could be Friday, it could be Wednesday, it could be Thursday, and they'll all be true. Because the first day of the week is determined by the new moon.
That's right.
So that's why they'll say the 7th day or this day, and they're counting from when the new moon comes in.
Yeah.
That's it. So read that, the first verse.
Luke 24:1. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared.
So that's what we just read. As a matter of fact, let's do something. Go back up to the first verse, and we're gonna read it in parallel. Okay. And it's gonna give you, because remember, they're speaking about the same thing, but on one end you might get a little bit more information than the other. It's a different guy, different. But that's like reading CNN and RT News.
Yeah.
And they both talking about what's going on in Ukraine. You know, you gonna hear Russia and Ukraine, but you might hear a little bit more from one end than the other.
Mark chapter 16, starting from verse 1. It says, and when the Sabbath was passed, Mary Magdalene and the mother of James and Salome had brought sweet spices, and that they might come and anoint him.
So now here's a good precept, because it said when the Sabbath was passed.
Yeah.
But in here, what does it say? Verse 1.
Oh, sorry.
Luke 24:1. Now upon the first day.
Upon the first day. But on here it talks about what? The Sabbath being passed. So why is it talking about the Sabbath and it's also talking about the first day? She's trying to wait for me. Go on.
Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others with them.
Go on.
And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre, and they entered in and found not the body of Yahushua. And it came to pass, as they were much perplexed thereabout, behold, two men stood by them in shining garments.
Now you can go back to verse 8 on here. Yeah, because remember it talks about he had revealed himself unto. Read that.
Right.
Do you read verse 8?
Okay. Verse 9 is right. Now, when Yahushua was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. Yeah. And she went and told them that had been with him, as they mourned and wept. And they, when they had heard that he was alive and had been seen of her, believed not. After that, he appeared in another form unto 2 of them, as they walked and went into the country.
So we're going to get that account in here. Because here it makes reference to it, but here it actually goes into detail about what it was. So you can keep reading on that in Luke 24.
Luke 24:6. He is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men.
So you see there's more details in here. So
I think I read the one verse parallel too.
no, it's okay. Yeah, it's detailed in here. I purposely had you read that. It's detailed in here. They told him, remember, he told you that. He was going to be delivered into the hands of what? Sinful men. Go on.
Saying, the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men and be crucified, and the third day rise again.
There you go. Go on.
And they remembered his words and returned
so
from
they remember what Yahushua said. Yeah, the Lord did say that. Go on.
And returned from the sepulchre and told all these things unto the 11 and to all the rest.
So they went and told these things unto the 11. Why the 11? Because what happened to Judas? He went and basically committed suicide after that demon left him, and now he felt so bad he couldn't live no more. And the purpose. And exactly, because he had served his purpose, right? So go on. So they went and they told the disciples, "This is what happened to us. This is what we saw." Go on.
It was Mary Magdalene and Joanna and Mary the mother of James and other women that were with them, which told these things unto the apostles. And their words seemed to them as idle tales, and they believed them not.
Right. They said, "Yo, what do you say? It sounds like you're making shit up." I went to the tomb and I saw an angel sitting there, and the angel told us that Yahushua had rose from the dead and he wasn't there anymore, because that's what he told us, but that he's actually going to meet us and he's going to reveal himself to us. They're like, yo, really? You know? Go on.
12. Then,
because at the same time, you got to keep in mind that it's not like they didn't want to hear that, but it almost sounded too good to be true, because they of course they would have loved that. But it's also like, that's like if I came to you and told I got spiritual power.
Yeah, you know spiritual power is real, but
it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, I tell you, yo, I brought somebody back from the dead last week. The person got shot in front of me. I literally brought him back from the dead. You're gonna be like, I would really love for that to be true, but that sounds, I know it's a possibility. I know it's going to happen because the Lord said it, but that's like just like that? Like, what you mean? Like, no, yeah, okay, yeah, we all got spiritual power. You know? Go on.
Luke 24:12. Then arose Peter and ran unto the sepulchre.
So read up a verse again.
11.
Uh-huh.
And their words seemed to them as idle tales, and they believed them not. Then arose Peter and ran unto the sepulchre.
So Peter had faith. That's why he ran to the sepulchre. If he didn't believe it, why? All right, whatever. But he said, "Nah, I'm gonna go find out for myself." Because you know that whole time, you know what had to be going on in Peter's mind. Why? Because before Yahushua was crucified, he denied him 3 times. So you know Peter was in a very, very heavy spirit. Reminiscing on all the things that Yahushua spoke to him about. If you love, do you love me? You know, you gotta be realistic, you know. Do you love me? Yeah, Lord, you know I love you. 3 times, feed my lambs. And then you remember the flashback of the Lord turning back and looking at you and the cock crowing and you denying the Lord 3 times. He probably crying. So Peter he must have been in a heavy ass spirit. So when he heard something like that, he's like, look, I ain't gonna just oh, well, that sounds like fable, so that's it. Nah, he ran. I'm gonna go see if what you said is true, I'm gonna go see for myself. Go on.
Then arose Peter and ran unto the sepulchre.
He ran onto the sepulchre.
And stooping down, he beheld the linen clothes laid by themselves, and departed.
That's the linen clothes that they have bound Yahushua in his body. So he sees it. Whoa! Go ahead.
And departed, wondering in himself at which was come to pass.
There you go. So when he saw it, he started thinking in his head, yo, he's remembering what they just said. He's like, yo, but why is the body not here? You know, what happened? Like, did somebody come and take? Because remember, the Pharisees had put out stories to say that one of the disciples came and took the body overnight. So you got people, nah, that's not real. Oh, this might have happened. You know, he's thinking of so many different possibilities. But you could tell that the greater reasoning in his mind is that Yahushua must have risen because this is, you know, but he's probably waiting for a little bit more. So he's thinking in his head, yo, it's just a linen. You know what I'm saying? I'm marrying them right. Like, yo, I mean, why would they lie to us about something like that? Yahushua did say it himself. He showed all these miracles. He brought people back from the dead. That's the Messiah. We said we believe it's the Messiah. Man, this shit, oh man. You know, go on.
13. And behold, 2 of them went to the same day to a village called Emos.
Yep. So those are the 2 that it says here that Yahushua revealed himself onto, but he ain't make himself known to them. Read that again.
Right. After that, he appeared Mark chapter 16, verse 12. After that, he appeared in another form.
In another form. So you watch the movie X-Men, and you know Mystique, she's able to take on a form of somebody else, to look like somebody else. Well, Yahushua could do that. Because if the brother Ayash comes to me, it don't matter if he got a full beard, short hair, grown hair, I'm gonna recognize that it's Ayash. Unless he look like somebody else completely. Yep. Right, that show we were watching, I don't know if you were there, Wu Assassins. Oh, yeah. And then, you know, they gave him the monk power and he could look like the old man. Yeah. But read that again.
Right. After that, he appeared in another form unto 2 of them as they walked and went into the country. And, okay.
Luke 24 and 13. And behold, 2 of them went that same day to a village called Emos, which was from Jerusalem about 60 furlongs. And they talked together of all these things which had happened.
Right. So they're going and they're talking amongst themselves, you know, about the things that are, yo, damn, you know, they're talking about Yahushua really got put to death. They're talking about what Mary Magdalene and Mary, you know, came and said to them that they saw an angel, you know, all this, they're talking about all these things. Yeah, so you really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he did say it. They're talking amongst each other, right? Go on.
15. And it came to pass that while they communed together and reasoned, Yahushua himself drew near and went with them.
Right. So imagine they're going their way and Yahushua pulls up, but he didn't, like I said, he took another form. He ain't come in a way where they could recognize him. Go on.
16. But their eyes were holden that they should not know him.
Right. Their eyes were holden, meaning that the form he came in was a way where they couldn't recognize him. Right? They saw a man, but they didn't know that was Yahushua. Go on.
And he said unto them, what manner of communications are these that ye have one to another as ye walk and are sad?
Right. So they said, what y'all talking about? Why y'all so sad? Like, what's going on? Go on.
And the one of them, whose name was Cleopas.
Cleopas. Yep.
Cleopas.
Do me a favor. Look that up. Matter of fact, yeah, look up Cleopas. Luke 21 and 24 and what?
18.
Luke 24 and 18. It just says one of the two disciples of of Yahushua. So you go back to Mark. Go on.
Luke 24 and 18.
Uh-huh.
And the one of them, whose name was Cleopas,
Mm-hmm.
answering said unto him,
Matter of fact, do me a favor, type it in Google. See what they tell us.
See?
Yeah, you keep going.
Continuing, art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem?
Yeah, yo, you ain't heard what's going on? Because, see, when Yahushua was put to death, he was crucified, that was a big-ass deal. That was a big deal. Everybody in Jerusalem heard about it. Because, remember, it said that when they came to the Garden of Gethsemane, they came with the high priest, they came with the troops, they came with everybody. So it was a big commotion. And then when they put him to death, him going through the streets, you got the women crying, you got people like, oh, yo, hey, you got things going on. It was a big deal. So when he was put to death, everybody knew about it. That's why when he came up to them, he said, why y'all so sad? What are y'all talking about that got y'all so sad? And then they said, and then Cleopas said, you knew here? Like, you didn't hear what's going on? What you mean? That's like if 9/11 just happened, right? And then you come about and everybody's talking about, yo, it was crazy how it crashed, man. You like, what crashed? What happened? What y'all talking about? Why you come and say, yo, why the streets blocked downtown? They're gonna say, what you mean? You're not from here, son? You ain't hear about what happened with the planes? What planes? That kind of thing, right? Go ahead.
Continuing, art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem, and hast not known the things which are come to pass there in these days?
Mm-hmm. So you didn't hear what just happened these days? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, what things?
See, what things? So that's like, you asking, they're like, you didn't hear about the planes? Like, what planes? What are you talking about? And he was doing that on purpose. Go ahead.
And they said unto him, concerning Yahushua of Nazareth, which was a prophet mighty in deed and word before God and all the people.
Right. So they basically told him what happened about Yahushua. They told Yahushua about Yahushua. Go ahead.
And how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death.
Go ahead.
And have crucified him.
Mm-hmm.
But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Israel.
So we trusted that it should have been he which should have redeemed Israel. What did you get for Google? This is one of the chapters they outside. But they didn't really get to. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
And besides all this, today is the third day since these things were done.
Mm-hmm. See, so that's why they were so down. Because they're saying, well, it's the third day. He said he was going to rise on the third day. Now, when you get so excited, the third day, the second the day comes, you already, it got to be right now. Well, he said the third day. He didn't tell you exactly what time on the third day, right? So they're saying, well, it's the third day. Go on.
They there at 12 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah. Luke 24 and 22. Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre.
See? So they said they surprised us because they said that they went there and this is what they were saying happened. Go ahead.
And when they found not his body, they came saying that they had also seen a vision of angels, which said that he was alive. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it even so as the women had said, but him they saw not.
Right. So, and that was Peter. And I believe John went with Peter as well. I think in the book of John, it tells you that because John, he outran Peter, but when he got there, he waited. And when Peter went in first. But this goes to show you that Yahushua, he got a sense of humor. Because when he went there, he knew that, obviously, he knew what was going on, but he was trying to, test them a bit and so on and so forth. So he goes there. We in the middle of something right now, yeah. So you probably ask her right there. But he went in there and he asking, so what happened? Now, everything they told him, he knew exactly what was going on. Go ahead.
25. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Yahushai,
Now, if you're slow of heart, you're retarded. Meaning that, because when you look up the word retarded, it goes into being slow of mind. And the word heart means your mind. So pretty much you call them retards, but here today, if you call somebody a retard, they get very offended. But it was actually true, right? Because you were slow of heart to believe what the prophets wrote. Because he could see after everything they told him, he's looking like, so why are you down? If you actually believe what was written, why are you sad? We're still on the third day. He said he was going to rise, right? So if anything, your attitude should have been, hey, well, we waiting on him to rise. You know, he ain't rise yet, but the day ain't over yet, right? So that's why he basically ripped him a new one, right? Go ahead.
continuing, ought not Yahushai to have suffered these things and enter into his glory?
Right, and enter into his glory. So he had to do it. But wait, hold on though. They gotta ask. Wait, hold on. I thought you ain't know about all this. How are you now telling me what Yahushua should have done? Go on.
And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself.
Now wait. Beginning at Moses and what?
All the prophets.
No. Just some of the prophets. What did I say?
All the prophets.
All the prophets. What did he do?
He expounded unto them in all the scriptures.
So he went into the scriptures. He spoke. He said, you know, when it talks about this guy right here, when it says this right here, go ahead.
Unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself.
Right. So prophets that were Isaiah 7:14, virgin shall conceive. He went into that. He expounded. That was talking about my mom. That was me. That was Yahushua. He went into it and expounded onto them and explained to them that was talking about him. That he would come lowly on an ass, that he would do this, that he would be born in Bethlehem, that he would come out of Egypt, that he would be, you know, all these things. It was all in there. And he expounded onto them. Go ahead.
Continuing. And they drew nigh unto the village whither they went, and he made us as though he would have gone further.
Right. So he was going as though he would have. So when they came to the village, he acted like he was going, you know, he got to keep going on his way. Go ahead.
But they constrained him, saying, abide with us.
Hey, no. Come on. Go ahead.
For it is toward evening, and the day is far spent.
So now you understand why they were even so hopeless or out of hope, because it was getting to the evening time. So we don't wait till noon. Because remember, Mary Magdalene and all them, they said it was in the morning that they went, early in the morning. So now it's evening time and they go into the village. They're like, yo, the day's about to be over. Where he at? Right? But remember that the angel told her that he would appear to them of another form. Go on.
And he went in to tarry with them.
And he went in so they constrained him. No, it's already late. Now you gotta also imagine these are followers, right? And you got somebody that's coming up to you, breaking down the scriptures, going in there and breaking it down in depth. You're gonna be like, hey, nah, don't just go out. It's late. Nah, come with us. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it and brake and gave to them. And their eyes were open.
There you go. So, but you know what's spiritual about that, right? He took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to them, and then were their eyes open after he gave them the bread. And that bread ultimately represents this truth as well. The roll. So now, if you look at it spiritually, how were our eyes open? When we partook of the bread of life, which is Yahushua, and he said what? He comes in the volume of the book. Go on.
And their eyes were opened, and they knew him.
And they knew it. So then that's Yahushua. So that block, now when that block was taken off, they were like, how the hell didn't we realize that was Yahushua the whole time? So right when the Lord, whether he made himself look back like Yahushua, or he just took the block off their mind, whatever he did, they knew, boom, oh, that's Yahushua. Go ahead.
And they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight.
Oh, so Yahushua can teleport. Because what does the word vanish mean? For people, no. If that and say he vanished, really what he did was he just lifted up a little, little cloak, and then he covered their faces, and then he ran like some Undertaker shit. You know, Undertaker wrestling, the light goes out, he comes to the front, the light goes out, and magically he's in the ring. And one time somebody caught him on video when the light go out, he be running. Yo, shout out, the second the light go out, he be booking it down the stage and shit. And then he run into the ring with his hat, they pass him everything. You know, he be standing there and shit, all out of breath, but he trying to hold it in. Like, caught his ass running down the strip, like, yo, bro, my man, what you doing? That ain't what your house shy did. Whoop. And then he ran and shit, and then, oh, where is he at? No, he actually disappeared. Now let's look up the word vanish. Ah, there you go. Matter of fact, right, well, what verse was that? 31. All right, beautiful. Now, before you keep reading on that, I'm going to look up vanish, and we're going to read the one in here. So now, the word vanish says disappear suddenly and completely, right? Vanish into thin air, disappear. So when you teleport, what do? You disappear from one area and reappear in another. And that's exactly what Yahushua did. So so spiritual power includes being able to teleport, being able to disappear and reappear. And this is a perfect account of that. Yahushua actually disappeared from before them. Can you imagine that? Oh man, hey man, when the Lord really, when he turns things up, man, we gonna see some. It's gonna be like a real life Marvel movie, man. We're gonna see and do some things. And it's gonna be man. You know what I'm saying? Let alone before we even get into the kingdom. Right? So here in Luke 24, we just read that he vanished. That's why it's about to get real hot. Imagine you got a whole, they come for us or whatever the situation is. Some danger's coming, and all of a sudden we just boom, and we start disappearing. Somebody comes up, they say, oh, these guys, they're the terrorists that we call the cops. And the second the cops come, everybody grab hold of each other, boom, we just disappear. And it's like nobody was here. Like, yep. Or smite them with blindness. A brother just snap his finger, or an angel just come, boom, and then we just out of here. See? All right, you got it.
Mark chapter 16, starting from verse 14. It says, afterwards, he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat.
Pause. Read up a couple verses. Read up like a verse.
All right. That's before the two he appeared to the two.
Yeah, read that.
After that, he appeared in another form unto two of them.
So Mark tells us that, and in Luke, we read about the details of that. Yeah. So when Mark says afterward he appeared unto the disciples, that's what we're about to read here in Luke. This was after he disappeared. So when he disappeared from those two, where did he go to? Let's read here in Luke, and then we'll come here.
Luke 24 and 31. And their eyes were open, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, did not our heart burn within us?
So they said, when the burn, meaning that I knew that there was sign unusual about this man. I knew that something was going on. But their mind, the Lord blocked their mind to where they would try, but they couldn't see it yet. Go on.
While he talked with us,
go ahead.
By the way, and while he opened to us the scriptures.
Right. So they thinking the way this man ain't no ordinary man. For you to be able to go into the scriptures like that, and you speaking about Yahushua, this is that. This is talking about him. This is talking about him. Yeah. And they're like, that sounds just like Yahushua. Like, this guy. Who is he? He sounds like somebody that Go ahead.
And they rose up the same hour and returned to Jerusalem.
So they screw that. They ran back, going back to Jerusalem. Because what are they going to do? They're going to go tell the rest what happened. Go ahead.
And found the 11 gathered together, and them that were with them.
So they went and they found the 11 gathered together. So these were disciples. They weren't a part of the original 11, but they were also disciples. Now, I mean, it doesn't say who they are, but anyway, they went and then they found the rest of the 11 gathered together. Go ahead.
Saying, Yahushua is risen indeed.
So they came there just the same way Mary came to them and said, Yahushua is rose. Peter ran and checked to see what was going on over there in the sepulcher. Now, another two disciples came there and they're like, yo, Yahushua actually did rise. Now, they didn't come there. Edomites might read the scripture and they'll read it to you and saying, Yahushua is rose indeed. As if the disciples ran there And when they saw the other 11, they all excited and stuff, but they just stopped. Yahushua rose indeed. No, you don't experience something like that. You think you're gonna come there? Yahushua rose indeed. I'm gonna give the example again. If you don't see a brother, matter of fact, say right now, all of us just start getting like a message from like a group chat, the group chat we in, right? And it's like a brothers, I don't know, or the elders somewhere performing spiritual power. If you saw it first, are you gonna stay there and be like, oh look, the elders performing? You'll be like, yo, bro, look, oh you, yeah, ground flips. You know, you're gonna be excited. So they were excited when they came to the disciples saying, yo, Yahushua has risen, he has risen. You know, they're like, yo, calm down, come, what happened? Go on.
Continue.
Yeah, like when we see a chariot.
Right.
You know, yeah. That's crazy, man.
Saying, Yahushua is risen indeed, and hath appeared to Simon. And they told what things were alone in the way, and how he was known of them in breaking of bread.
Right. Go ahead.
And as thus spake, Yahushua himself stood in the midst of them, and saith unto them.
So what? How did he stand in the midst of them? He reappeared over there. He teleported, as we would phrase it today. So he disappeared, and then right when they all got together, as they were talking about what had just happened, Yahushua showed up. Boom. Go ahead.
And saith unto them, peace be unto you.
Peace be unto you, which is what? Shalom. So the second, boom, Shalom.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
But they were terrified
They were terrified.
and affrighted, and supposed that they had seen a spirit.
Right. So now, if even maybe you're in your house and you come, maybe you finish using the bathroom, turn off the lights, and the second you turn around, the person you're living with, they want to use the bathroom, and you don't even hear them there. So the second you turn around, they just say, "Hey," and then you turn, "Oh shit," you got all shook up, right? So now imagine if that was the case, but now somebody just teleported into the crib, and then they tell you Shalom. So now if if you see, it's one thing for, like, let's say I'm not, he's standing right there, and I'm facing him, talking to him like this. He gonna see Yahushua, and he gonna panic. Now what about me, who now I'm about to turn around and see him? So if I'm like Thomas or something, and I turn, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm probably on here driving all the time now, like, yo, time out, hold on a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck is that? You know, because remember, there was one account when Yahushua was walking to them on the water, and they thought they saw a ghost. You know, they say first we almost drowned. Now we seeing ghosts. Like, shit, what's going on? And then John said, no, that's Yahushua. So now Yahushua just teleport out of nowhere, boom, Shalom. Of course they were shook. You know, please don't hurt me. I believe. Go on.
Luke 24 and 38. And he said unto them, why are ye troubled?
Why are you troubled? So what's up? Go on.
And why do thoughts arise in your hearts?
So not only did were they scared outwardly, but you can only imagine how scared they were in the mind. So he said, why are you all stressed out? You losing hands. Go on.
Behold my hands and my feet.
Right, it's me. Behold my, so look at my hands and look at my feet. Hey, Shalom. Yep. Go on.
That it is myself.
Mhm.
Handle me and
So,
see.
Uh-huh.
For a spirit hath not flesh and bones, as ye see me have.
Right. So go ahead. Handle me. Touch me. You're gonna see that what? It's me. You know? So why that's yeah, because there's so much going on right now. Remember, they were just in a position of hopeless, right? They were, oh man, then they went to a position of like, he might just be, because there's more things are coming out, someone is saying this, so now they're like, they overwhelmed. Then they see him, and now it's like, oh, exactly. Go on.
And when he had thus spoken, he shewed them his hands and his feet.
Right, so he showed them where he was pierced. Go on.
And while they yet believed not for joy and wondered, he said unto them,
For joy, so they were happy. They were ecstatic. They weren't just happy, they were ecstatic. Go on.
he said unto them, have ye here any meat?
Now, you can imagine, because it's like gonna be like a similar, but on a much grander scale, when Yahushua comes back and we get beamed up lower and we are the elect and we meet him there as well. You know, just like how he died for 3 days and then came back and then he met them and they were reunited and they were all happy. But this time he's gonna come back and beam up his elect, and we're gonna be reunited and we're gonna be happy. But this time the scripture says, so shall we ever be with the Lord. So he ain't gonna leave us. We ain't gonna know. We always gonna, go on.
Have ye here any meat?
Have you here any meat? Go on, which is food.
And they gave him a piece of broiled fish
Mhm.
and of an honeycomb.
So now you can imagine how the energy switches throughout, because they had the food there, but even if they were eating, it wouldn't be. You probably wouldn't even have an appetite, because you're thinking, damn, man, like, yeah, man, you messed up in the head, and now you finally see him. Of course, everybody got an appetite now. Everybody gonna want to eat. How wish I see it? And you got so many questions. You got so much to talk about.
And he took it
Mhm.
and did eat before them.
Showing them that hey, it's me. So you can pause on there. Let's go back. Mark chapter 16. But now you can go to Romans 13:11.
Mark chapter 16, starting from verse 14, it says, afterwards he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them for their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen.
Right. So Mary, the two disciples, he was for hardness of heart. I told you I was going to do this. It's written in the laws that I was going to do this. Mary and them came and told you. The disciples came. So what more? And he had to be like that on them, because what? He was training them and raising them up. Exactly. Go on.
And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. That was supposed to be the precept to the but then
Go on. When we first started?
yeah, when we first started.
Yeah, that's the spirit though, So read that again.
And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
That's what we're doing now. And it's ultimately talking about people. Okay? People. He ain't going, Lord said every creature. So nigga in his backyard, he got monkeys and snakes. And he's talking about, give me this precept. And the snake's looking at him with his tongue out. And the snake is sizing him up to eat his ass. You know what I mean? Then he goes to the monkey. No, that's not what it means. I got to rebuke. Now you're doing rebuke videos on monkeys and shit. There was actually okay. There was actually a video of an individual. This dude is mad. Yo, my man just used to put on the camera, and all you see is the lights are off, and there's like birds, like little birds in the background just singing and shit for the whole video. And you sitting there like, what's wrong? What the hell is wrong with people? You know what I mean? What the hell? What is that? Boy, man, Jake, I tell you, man, certain Israelites, we need the kingdom. No. He just had a video of birds. The monkey was my example.
Ninja monkey.
Yeah. Remember the ninja monkeys? Yeah, that's probably the same dude. He training up his monkeys for Jacob's trouble. He's showing them the ways of the karate. You know what I'm saying? But we read that, right? Romans. Yeah.
Romans 13:11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Now it is high time to awake out of sleep. First Thessalonians, fifth chapter, first verse. We'll start at the first verse. It is high time to awake out of sleep, right? Go ahead.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
So it's even closer than when we believe. And you know us, we constantly, hoping that it's closer and closer and closer. So for it to be closer than when we believe, how close do you think that is? Yahushua can't wait to make his return upon the earth. He can't wait, because along with delivering us, what does Yahushua get? His glory. And of course, who wouldn't want their glory? The glory as of the only begotten, the first begotten of the Father? Of course, everybody's going to want that. Well, of course, Yahushua is going to want his, especially after what he went through. That's like if you pay all this money for something, and you order something, right? And it costs mad bread. And they're like, all right, in such and such days, then, we're going to ship it to you. Every day you're going to be excited, waiting for it to come. You ain't going, I don't want it no more. No, you're going to be excited, waiting for it to come. The second you hear the doorbell, you're thinking, is it this? Is it it? Is it it? Because you spent so much money. So that's Yahushua. He's waiting in the heavens very, very, very patiently. So the day that the Lord says, yo, it's time to go. And he is not. That's why it says, of the people, there was none with me. He ain't waiting for nobody. The Lord is out. He's on his way. There we go. Like we read. And my reward is with me. So the Lord's getting ready to dish out rewards. As eager as he is to deliver his elect, he's also eager to destroy the wicked. That's why it says the day of vengeance. Matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. Drop this. Isaiah 63. He said the day of vengeance, what? Burns in my heart. So that's why it's about to get real hot, because anger is likened onto heat. Right? The fire, the flames of the Lord's anger. Verse 1. And you know, when somebody gets angry, they might say he's hot. Because they don't liken it onto coldness. When you angry, it's a fiery spirit that's with it. So the Lord is angry and he's getting ready to come down with what? With fire. Yes, sir?
Deuteronomy 7 and 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
To 1,000 generations, and they don't even stop there. So the Lord is, so everything that happened to us, the Lord has been faithful all throughout. The Lord has been, that's why he said he will put his word above his name, meaning that he's not going to break his word even for his name's sake. So he's going, whatever the Lord says he's going to do, he's going to do. That's why his word doesn't come back to him void. All right. That's why the Lord said, that's why you don't want the Lord to pronounce judgment against you. Because the second judgment goes out against your ass, it ain't going to be recalled. Oh, the scriptures say the Lord hath threatened who may call it back. Ain't nobody going to call it back. Get it. The Lord don't give empty threats. He tells you as it is. If he says he's going to make America a desert, that's what's going to happen to this place. If he says he's going to destroy such and such, that's what's going to happen. When did the Lord in history say he was going to do something and he ain't never did it? He never bluffs. And that's the fear of the Lord. Back in, read that again.
Romans 13 and 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
So our salvation is nearer than when we believe. So what spirit are we supposed to be in? Once again, say the PS5 just came out and you love video games. And you know, I get sold out so fast, you just managed to get one order in. And then you see on the shipping that they said it's arriving in 30 minutes. 30 minutes? You're going to sit down, 30 minutes. No, you're going to be happy as shit. You're setting up the TV and everything. Anybody trying to make, hold on. The next 2 weeks, don't hit me up. All right? I'm going to be busy. I got business to take care of. You know what I mean? We're all excited setting everything up. So it's the same thing. If we know that our salvation is nearer than when we believe, should we not be that much more excited? Well, how do we show our excitement to the Lord? The scriptures say, give him no rest till he make Jerusalem a fame and a praise in the earth again. So how do you do that? You got to be about it. You got to do the work, but you got to do the work passionately. Sometimes the demons try to hop on you. You got to do it. Be like, all right, I'll do it like a minute. I'll do it like an hour. But you got to do it. You got to just get it. You just get it and do it. And you realize when you finally start doing it, you're like, this is it. This is it. You feel good after the lesson. Yeah, you sleep better, right? Yeah. And then you wonder, why the hell did I take so long to do the lesson? Because now when you eat right. Yeah. You want to chill, you chill right. Because you're like, I feel good. I've done what I had to do. That's so true. You feel satisfied. Yeah, when you slack off, you don't want to do nothing. Yeah, you can think you're going to put it aside and enjoy yourself. That never happens, man. You never enjoy yourself. Never. Because you always in the back of your mind, something isn't done. I got to do something, Yeah. That's like, some video games you play, there's like this quest that always pops up. It keeps popping up until you complete it. Every time you log in, the shit pops up. You haven't done this. You haven't done this. You haven't done this. That was it on that. Matter of fact, keep going.
Romans 13 and 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Let's put on the armor of light, which is this word, this truth. And you embody it. Go ahead.
Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness,
Because that's the ways of the world. That's what the world teaches you to do. But we gotta walk. We gotta walk in the ways of the scriptures. Because those are what? The ways of life. You see what's going on in the world now? People getting shot, people getting smeared in the face with human feces. People are afraid. You know, some of that went into her mouth too. Shit.
not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach.
And how do you do that? Once again, you got to read these scriptures. You got to get into these scriptures. You got to follow the ways of the Lord and not the ways of your own mind. Go on.
And make not provision for the flesh.
Make not provision for the flesh. You got certain people that they want to do the work, but they also want to be able to do the lust of the flesh and wickedness. They want to try to serve two masters. Go on.
To fulfill the lust thereof.
Why not? Because ultimately that's going to lead you to your demise. You're going to try to play spiritual hopscotch, Hebrew hopscotch, and jump here, jump into the spirit, jump into the world, jump into the spirit, jump into the world. You're going to be like a bird that flies to a window, thinking that it's not a window there. You're going to come full speed trying to jump back, and the Lord going to smack. Boom, keep your ass in the world. We don't want you here no more. All right, that was it on that. What you got?
Oh, it was there. Lamentations chapter 3, starting from verse 37. It says, "Who is he that saith, and it comes to pass when the Lord commanded it, when the Lord commanded it not?" I was just to back up what you said.
Oh, that's right. You know, so it's the same thing in reverse. Who is he that's going to try to hold back what the Lord has said? Everything the Lord says is going to come to pass. That's the righteous, that's the mercy and the destruction. So if anything, what side do you want to be on? Right?
Isaiah 63.
John, you can read that.
All right, so this is going into how Yahushua is haste, because the day of the vengeance is in his heart. Isaiah 63, verse 1, it says, Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Okay. You go.
Therefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Right? Because the wine fat is like a pit. And when the harvest time comes, you gather the grapes. So when you get all the grapes, put it in there, and then you would stomp on it. Right? And it was like it was like a joyous thing. You would sing, you would stomp on it, everybody would get in there. Ain't nobody with some dirty, crusty feet though. You gotta make because you know what I'm saying? But you would stomp on there, and as you're doing it, what's gonna happen? The blood of the grapes, you're getting the blood of the grapes, but of course when you step on something, it's gonna splash. Right? So that's why he said your apparel is red like him that treadeth the wine fat. Go on.
I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me.
I've done it alone. Because in that sense, it represents the destruction the Lord is going to bring. Go on.
For I will tread them in mine anger.
Tread them in mine anger. That's the Lord speaking. But they say God is all love. So why is his son talking about treading people in his anger? What does that mean? But the pastor won't explain that to you. Oh, that means that he's going to talk to them harshly. You know?
I'm gonna skip with you. That's
I'm gonna skip with you. I'm gonna show you how to jump that rope. You know what I'm saying? With spiritualness. Okay. Shit, man.
For I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury.
In my fury. What does the word fury mean? No. He's talking metaphorically. He's not actually angry, but he's gonna act like he's mad, so he can scare you a bit. Oh yeah. The fact that the little dog trying to fight back too, that's it's like a foot off the dog's side. He stopped there, he's like, what, nigga? Yeah, look at his face. Not funny. I'm trying to go, stop. Yeah. Go ahead.
It says, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments.
So what's that mean? Their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. How do you get around that? You know, I had somebody tell me that when it says that the slain of the Lord shall be many, it's really talking about how many people he's going to rebuke. Because when he comes, he's going to open the book. You ain't going to do this. You got to stop doing this. If you don't stop doing this, you're just going to need to stop. You need to stop doing this. I'm sitting there like it says with fire and flames, you know, with flames and rebuke. What's that talking about? No, that's metaphorical. You're looking at it all wrong. But they can't tell you what it means.
Do you even know what the word slain means?
Thank you. Yeah, remember in high school, them dudes, I told them that in Isaiah 13, it says that the sinners shall be destroyed. He shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. My man's going to tell me, nah, destroy don't mean to kill. So I asked the other, Lalo, I asked him, I said, look up the word destroy. He looked it up. The joint said kill. He said, look, hey, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. Yo, Jake, man. Go on.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
And that's why it's going to get real hot. Whoa, it's going on over there. You know, it's going to get real hot because what? The year of my redeemed is come. The Lord is going to redeem his elect, but then also he's coming with vengeance to do what? To destroy the wicked. What?
And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury is upon me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. I will mention the loving kindness of the Lord and the praise of Yahweh, according to all that Yahweh has bestowed upon us.
And ultimately, that's what the Lord is going to do. He's going to come and he's going to bring great judgment upon the earth because the earth is very wicked. They're more wicked now than they were during the time before the flood. This is flood behavior. So what does flood behavior warrant? A flood. This time is going to be a flood of fire. And there ain't going to be no escape out of it. Real quick, get Malachi, the 4th chapter and the 1st verse. Malachi 4:1, and then we'll finish it off with Revelation 21 on the top. Just go to Matthew and just look at the book right in front of that. 11. You know, so ultimately, it's going to be real. And before the Lord brings the destruction, the world is going to look like a completely different place. Compared to the way, even right now, compared to a couple of years ago, it looks completely different. But in the future, with what they're trying to bring, they're trying to hack human beings, you know, and they're trying to introduce a completely different era. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, Salakia. But the brother's right because these Rothschilds, Rockefellers are trying to do. They actually have like they are wise men, and they are writing like the history book for the future. So when they establish a new world order, we'll be reading, you know, their history and the things that they did to change the world and all these things. So yeah, the brother's right. They are really planning on really actually, you know, bringing a great change. You know, trying to change humans and all this, trying to bring some crazy ass philosophies. You know, very soon, man, the righteousness is gonna be it's gonna be a thing of the past.
Right.
You know.
Right. They're gonna persecute you for righteousness' sake.
Yeah, like the other person said, like today it's offensive to say righteous things, you know, to speak of righteousness. But in the future to come, you're dead. Yes, yeah, you're dead. You know.
That's why at that point the famine is gonna be there. You know. Got it.
Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up.
So what day is that? That's the day when the Lord has the destruction go off. When Russia shoots their missiles, the U.S. shoots their missiles, China shoots their missiles, the EU shoots their missiles, whoever got missiles shoots their missiles. Because the scriptures say, all ye that bend the bow, basically come round about her, talking about Babylon. And they're going to light this place up, along with the Lord and the chariots, in whatever forms of fire he brings to melt this place. So it's going to be a hot ass day. That's why it's going to get real hot. Go on.
And the day that cometh shall burn them up.
That's right. That's the first verse.
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay, go ahead.
Saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Right. It shall leave them neither root nor branch. So it's going to burn this place up completely. And the fire is going to keep going because you're going to have elements in here to keep the fire going. Cars, building, gas stations, people, you know, oil, all of these things. So it's gonna be that's why it's gonna be like a lake of fire. All right, it's not gonna be like a lake of fire. It's gonna be a lake of fire, and that's gonna usher in the destruction of the old world, which is Esau's world, and the bringing in of the new world, which is Jacob's world. Okay, Revelation 21.
Verse 1, it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
So when did John see that? After the old one was, well, he's gonna say it.
Yeah. For the first heaven and the first earth passed away.
So what is the first heaven and the first earth? The first heaven and the first earth is Esau's heaven and earth, his age, his rulership. And the new one is the kingdom of heaven. And that's going to start when Yahweh Shai comes. Go on.
And there was no more sea. Verse 2, and I, John, saw the holy city, a new Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven.
Now, what is John talking about? Real quick, go to Isaiah 26 and 20. Because when, like we read in Malachi, when that day comes and the missiles start flying, the Lord is going to beam up his elect, and he's going to take them up into the chariot right above the firmament, and they're not going to partake of the second death. That's in Revelation 20th chapter. Go on. 20 and 26. I mean 26 and 20. Last verse.
Isaiah 26 and 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers.
That's the Jerusalem that John saw, the elect. Go ahead.
And shut thy doors about thee.
So what are the chambers? The chambers are the chariots, okay, or the chariot that the elect are going to get beamed up into. And shut thy doors about thee. Go ahead.
Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment.
Which is going to be when the fire is going on, the heat, the real heat of it. Because it says it's going to take only 1 hour for this place to be destroyed. Go on.
For a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
Until the indignation be overpassed. So what is the indignation? The destruction. Go on.
For behold, the Lord cometh out his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth.
Like we read in Malachi 4.
For their iniquity, the earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain.
That was in all right. So beautiful. So now I'll go back to 21 and 1. Yeah, 2. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven.
So why were they coming down? Because pursuant to Isaiah 26 and 20, they went up. So after the indignation is passed, then you see the elect coming down out of that chariot.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Yeah, because when we go up there, on our way up there, our bodies are going to be changed. And we're going to be made perfect. We're going to be prepared. Go on.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men.
Yeah, so it starts with the men. Banyam Yasharallah, sons of Israel. Go ahead.
And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people.
They shall be his people. Go ahead.
And God himself shall be with them, and be their God.
And be their God. Go ahead.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
From their eyes. Let's talk about the Israelites, starting with the elect. So yeah, you heathens are still going to cry, especially you Edomites. You damn right you're going to cry. Because the scriptures say that the Lord is going he's going to give them into the hand of a cruel Lord, a cruel king. So when that scepter comes smashing into the back of your skull, you think you're going to hold back tears? No, you ain't.
You're going to cry blood.
Yes, that's it. And we're going to tell you, if you shed another tear, there's another one coming. So you better, I don't know, suck the tear back up. You're going to put him in a hole and say, climb back up. If I get down there, that's it. Put the nigga, you know what I'm saying? Stand your ass up. Take you soft. Bring it right back. That's it. That's it. Come on, man. I'm going to see the spirit. Where you going? Because see, when the body dies, the spirit goes back up. Because the scriptures say that death is better than the certain infirmities. So the second,
I said like famine.
Like yeah, exactly, like famine. So he's thinking, oh, I'm free. You know, I'm going to the spirit world. I'm gonna rest it. At least I got 3 to 4 generations. And the second he goes up, we're gonna look at him, and he's gonna look at us, and he's gonna realize, oh, he can see here. And then we're gonna grab his ass, and we're gonna throw his ass back into the body and say, wake your ass up. We ain't done with you. Oh Lord. He's gonna look up, he's gonna look down. Instead of going up, he's coming right back down into the body. Oh no. Oh, wake up, look at this nigga. Wake up, nigga. With a fiery whip, you know, a fiery whip that can grab your ass and pull you back. And as you're being pulled back, you're being burnt by the joint. Whip your shit. Yeah. So get over here, joint.
And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow.
And that's amongst the Israelites. Yeah. So we're gonna be immortal. These other nations, they still won't die, but you know, being that the earth is gonna go back to the perfect state, it stands to reason that they're gonna live a little longer than people do now. But nevertheless, we gonna be immortal. We the ones who are gonna have tears wiped away from us. Go ahead.
Neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things shall pass away.
Amongst the Israelites. Go ahead.
And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful.
So we know this is going to happen because it's true. And the things that we see happening in the world right now is a confirmation. Because the things happening right now are written in the scriptures that they would happen. So why wouldn't the rest of the things written in there happen? Of course it's going to happen, and we believe it. And we want to be a part of that elect. All right? That was it on that. Let's finish it up. You got that? What is that? No, you good on that. You know what? You're not good on that. Bring it out. Got it.
Malachi 4:2. But unto you that fear my name shall be the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings.
So there's going to be the fire that's going to burn everybody up. But onto who?
Son of Righteousness.
Now read that again from the top. Unto you that what?
But unto you that fear my name.
Unto you that fear my name. So who fears the name of the Lord? We fear the name of the Lord. And what's the name of the Lord? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Shall the Son of Righteousness arise.
And that's Yahweh Shai. Go on.
With healing in his wings.
So who's he going to come to heal? His elect. And that's why we ain't going to have no more tears and no more sorrow and no more death. Because those are the former things. What?
And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
Which is metaphorical for we're going to grow and we're going to flourish. Okay? That was it? No, that was it. That's good. Let's finish it off here. And that's why, like I said, ultimately, we follow this right here. That's why the Apostle Peter said that. What is that? Oh, yeah.
Second Peter chapter 1, Second Peter chapter 1, verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, you shall never fall.
That's it. So what's the key? Give diligence to make your calling and election sure. So you want that? You want those tears wiped away? You want to escape the second death? You want to? I'm saying it's okay.
For so an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly into the everlasting kingdom of our Lord and our Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Beautiful. And that's the ultimate end goal. That's why we out here. That's why we do what we do, because we want to enter into the rest. We are laboring to enter into that eternal rest. That's when we can rest. That's when we can have parties. That's when we can chill and have big fun and do whatever we want to do. But right now we're here to work. And when you on the job, you can't be playing and slacking off and doing whatever. No, you got to do what the job says. When you clock out, that's a different story. When you retire, that's a different story. But we ain't retired. We still prophets, and we still got to do what prophets do. Our job ain't a Saturday job, or when the camera comes on job. This is a 24/7 job. You got to be in the spirit at all times. And that doesn't mean that, just because I'm in the spirit at all times, you know what I'm saying, that, if I'm sleeping, I'm doing sit downs. No, but it's the way you move when you're in the spirit, thinking spiritually. You can't go think like a nigga in the world, and then when you turn on the camera, you an Israelite rebuking people for the things that you do. That's hypocrisy. And the Lord hates hypocrites. That got anything? That want to ask? All right. Beautiful. All right. So with that, we're going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying unto the elect. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.